Hello again. This is Blake Rogers doing the case brief over the subject of disparate treatment and disparate impact. The case title Ricky vs. DiStefano, 557 US, and the year it was decided was 2009. So, some of the facts and background information on the case. This was a decision by the United States Supreme Court concerning employment practices by the New Haven Fire Department. Um, in late 2003, the New Haven Fire Department had 7 openings for a captain and 8 openings for a lieutenant job. To fill these positions, they needed to administer civil service examinations. The exams consisted of 2 parts, written and oral. It was governed in part by the City of New Haven's contract with the firefighters union that stated the written exam would be 60% of the test, while the oral exam would be 40%, and a score of 70% was required to be considered a passing grade. The final selection for the job would be governed by a provision in the city charter referred to as the Rule of Three, which said that a civil service position would be filled from among the 3 individuals with the highest scores on the exam. So Ricky and 16 other white test takers plus 1 Hispanic test taker, all of whom qualified for consideration of the promotions, sued the city of New Haven, including the mayor, John DeStefano Jr. The lead plaintiff was Frank Ricky, who had been a firefighter at the New Haven station for 11 years. They brought suit under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 after they passed the test because the city did not promote them. New Haven officials invalidated the test results because none of the black firefighters that took the test scored high enough to be considered for the positions. The city said that they feared a lawsuit over the test disproportionate exclusion of certain racial groups from promotion under the controversial disparate impact theory of liability would take place. So the main issue here, by discarding the test results, did the city discriminate against the plaintiffs based on their race? The court decision, so the court heard the case on April 22nd, 2009, so like 6 years after it actually happened, and issued its decision in June of 2009. The court held 5-4 that New Haven's decision to ignore the test results violated Title VII because the city did not have a strong basis in evidence that it would have subjected itself to disparate impact liability if it had promoted the white and Hispanic firefighters and not the black firefighters. Because the plaintiffs won under their Title VII claim, the court did not even consider the plaintiff's argument that New Haven violated the constitutional right to equal protection. So the rationale behind this, the city and the officials defended their actions, arguing that they had if they had certified the results of the test, they could have faced liability under Title VII for adopting practice that had a disparate impact on minority firefighters. The legal reasoning behind the court's decision. So basically, among other things, the suit alleged that by discarding the test results, the city discriminated against the plaintiffs based on their race in violation of both Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States. This was more of a, they weren't going to be facing the disparate impact. So Justice Kennedy, writing in the 5-4 majority, concluded that the city's action in discarding the test was a violation of Title VII. In these circumstances, he says the standard for permissible race-based action under Title VII is that the employer must demonstrate a strong basis in evidence that had taken or not taken the action. It would have been liable under the disparate impact statute. The respondents cannot meet that threshold standard. The opinion stated that the court holds that New Haven has not demonstrated a strong basis in evidence for its plea and so holding that the court pretends that the city rejected the test result solely because the higher scoring candidates were white. So basically, they were saying that the New Haven based their decision on race. So, essential to the court's disposition, ignore substantial evidence of multiple flaws in the test. The court also saw that a better test had not yielded less racially skewed outcomes in other states, so this test was no different, and they would not have been liable under the disparate impact. That is the end of this case.